we decided that it wasn't getting better. The only thing to do was to break up.
Starting off with a pretty serious topic.
Yeah. Did you like that?
We broke up.
And the truth of the matter is, no relationship is perfect. There's always going to be times in a relationship that it gets tough. It's going to get hard.
Many long nights on the phone.
Yeah, lots of drunken texts and drunken calls.
Not from me.
Me neither.
Okay, do not freak out. We have not broken up.
But we're going to talk about a time in our relationship that we did. You guys stay tuned. Hey guys, it's PJ
And Thomas.
and we are starting with a new series on our YouTube channel called
Get to know us.
So this series is actually going to take a closer look at our relationship as a couple and some experiences that we've been through to kind of give you guys guidance. A lot of you have asked for more information about us, and now we're going to do a get to know us.
So we are very prepared for today's video because we're starting off with a pretty serious topic.
Yeah. So let's get right to it.
All right, so gather round, gentle viewers. The year was 2014.
I remember it so well.
I remember it like it was just yesterday.
Thomas and I started dating back in
We started dating back in 2010,
2010.
in the fall of 2010.
And we were together for how long before we broke up?
Almost 4 years, pretty much.
Yeah.
So we met in August, and we officially started dating in October of 2010. And then we broke up in June of 2014. So almost 4 years. There's a bug. I think I just caught it. I don't know what to do with it.
But yeah, so
Okay.
it was a time in our relationship that was really rocky, and it got to the point where in our minds, the only thing to do was to break up. So we had been together for 4 years. We decided that it wasn't getting better, and we decided to
Spend some time apart.
which then led into a breakup. And it was a 4-month. We broke
It
up.
lasted for 4 months. Leading up to it, though, I was 23, and you were 28. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. At that point, I kind of wanted to move to New York City, and I think PJ was seeing us getting a little bit more serious than that, and laying down roots here in Tennessee. And I wanted to get out there and experience the world and live in New York City and all that stuff. And I kind of maybe thought I was too young to settle down.
Yeah, all that happened. You always lived with your mom.
Yeah.
He'd never had his own experience outside of living with his mom. During that same time, I bought a house with the mindset that he was going to be moving in, and then he told me he wasn't going to be moving in.
And then I ended up moving in with my brother.
So that to me was like a hit because for one, I bought the house and kept him involved in the process of buying the house with the intention of him moving in, and then he told me no, and then immediately after moved in with his brother. So to me, it was like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
So I moved into the house, but I moved into that house thinking that he was moving in, and then he never moved in. So I ended up moving out of that house and renting it out because it was just bad memories for me. So yeah, it was just thing on thing on thing. And then at the same time, he got this internship in Atlanta, which complicated things.
That was the year before.
But that was leading up to it. All of these things kind of led up to the breakup. It was a combination of things for me that is where I was at.
I mean, I think because of all that was happening, and maybe PJ felt like he was blindsided and I was intentionally doing it, I think you kind of started lashing out at me and saying kind of hurtful things sometimes and mean things, and I think that I said them back because I was in defense mode. Do you have anything you want to say about that?
So yes, it was a rocky time. We broke up for 4 months, and it was a for sure breakup. We both went our separate ways.
Yeah.
There was several weeks that we went without talking at all. We blocked each other on social media. We both started talking to other people. there were some really tough times during our breakup and some real low moments.
Yeah. Many long nights on the phone.
Yeah, lots of drunken texts and drunken calls.
Not from me.
Me neither. There at the end when we were separated, I fought really hard to get back together because I knew what I wanted, and I knew that maybe I didn't put everything into the relationship when we were together, and I wanted to at least give it another shot and put everything into it, and then work on the things that I know Thomas had issues with, and then vice versa. Thomas work on the things that I had issues with, and when we got back together, it was pretty.
We just knew that things had to be different, and we had to approach it differently. Because I think towards the end there, we were both saying things to each other that we didn't mean, and we were being like intentionally rude to each other. And so that was one of the main stipulations, that if we got back together, we were in it for the long haul, because we had been together, for so long at that point that I think that neither of us were playing around anymore.
Yeah.
And so when we got back together that fall,
so we broke up in right before July. It was the very end of June, middle of June, end of June.
And then got back together in like October or November.
Yeah.
One of those. And then
got engaged.
And then
in December.
I proposed to PJ on Christmas.
Which is part of the reason why, it was always supposed to be me who proposed to Thomas, but I was planning the proposal when I bought the house and had already looked up rings and stuff. So we were supposed to have gotten engaged in 2013, and I was going to propose to him, and I bought the house, and that was going to be it. And that's why we've talked about this before, how it was always supposed to be me who proposed. So whenever he proposed to me, it was really just completely.
Because I asked him out first 7 years ago, and I was like, okay, since I asked you out, I am not proposing to you. You have to propose to me.
But I think ultimately that's how I wanted it to be.
No, really? Give me a kiss. What? Sweet. But no, I mean, I think, whenever he was going to propose to me the year before, I just wasn't ready. I don't think, looking back on it now.
So I never did.
And so he never did. I think he could tell that I wasn't ready. But I mean, now, obviously we've been married for coming up on 2
years in October.
2 years now. Well, it is October.
Well, the end.
Yeah, middle. So now that we've been married, going on 2 years, I can't imagine not being with PJ. It's a weird feeling to even think that there was a time that I didn't want to be with you.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a really rough time, and it was weird because I think we were both trying to move on, and we both attempted it and did things, and it was, looking back on it now, I don't regret what happened, because I feel like we had to go through that breakup to realize what we had and what it was, what we had and what we needed to fight for in order to make it work.
And I think how lucky we were to have found each other in the first place.
In the same town, and
I think it's really easy that after being with someone for so long, you lose sight of that. I think that you lose sight of, oh my gosh, we have something here that, not a lot of people have. Like you said, growing up in the same town, sharing the same interests, passions for family life and houses and animals and dogs and all this stuff. And I think that over time we really did lose sight of that. And it happens. I mean, it's real life, and it's, and
I think, it was important for us to do this video for you guys, so that, a lot of you guys always ask us, how do we keep our relationships so healthy, and what are things that we do in order to make this work? And the truth of the matter is no relationship is perfect. There's always going to be times in a relationship that it gets tough. It's going to get hard. And if what you have with that person is worth anything to either of you, it's learning, what to do to make it better, and how to work through those tough times. Because there's going to be tough times. There's going to be things that happen that you have no control over, and there's going to be things that happen that you do have control over, but you just
happen anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think it's important for us to kind of talk through we've had tough times, and we've had times where we have broke up, and we, you know, after a period of, you know, a couple of months, realized what we had and what we needed to fight for.
I think we both truly believe that sometimes you do have to take some time to separate yourself from that person to see if they are really the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, and, you know, just figure out who you are as a person, because you can't really be in a successful relationship with another person unless you are comfortable with yourself first.
Yeah.
And so I think we both had things that we needed to work out during that break, and once we got back together, we knew that we're in it to win it. All right, so that's it. That's our story of when we broke up a couple years ago, before we were engaged and married. I think that the most important thing to take away from all this is that we are not perfect. We hope we have not given you guys the idea that we are, because nobody's perfect and no relationship is. You know, marriage is work. It is two different people choosing to spend their lives together day after day, choosing to love each other. And I think that that's all that anyone can really do.
So what's important is, if you have a relationship that you feel has everything that it needs, put in the time and put in the effort to make it work.
Because it'll absolutely be worth it in the end.
Until next time, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave us a comment down below for what you guys want to see next. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.